Hey everyone, this is Brent from Central Arkansas. I'm editing my video and I see I need some background music for it, so I thought I'd do myself.
So it's been raining day after day after day, long periods of time, and that means disaster almost always with tomatoes. Tomatoes are so fickle. But you're seeing down here, I had 3 plants over here. I removed them for the reasons I'm about to show you here, and they were all in consideration, and these 4 as well. This number 4 plant in this bed here was amazing. It had huge fruit, a pound, up right at around a pound, between 12 to 16 ounces. This one was also nice, and this one as well. I think I mentioned number 2 was the most idyllic in another video, but then it started having yellowing leaves, and it started showing necrosis on the leaves, as did these others over here, and I kept trimming the plants more and more. You know, it would do this, but on the whole leaf, and it's starting to die off. You see up here, and so that's some kind of fungus. I imagine it's related to the wet weather. See here, you can see it pretty prevalent on these leaves here. And so the plants made the decision for me. The one I'm going with, which is also quite good, is this plant here. This plant is not showing near the signs at all of any of that type of bad growth. There's little hints of it here and there, but it's not, I haven't had to trim it. And so the fruit on this one is also really quite good. You can see down here, that's my hand next to it, and it's continuing to make. Here's a big one, a really big one. This one's over a pound, I imagine. And so this is it. I'm cutting these out and we're gonna go with it from there. Now the Donovan one over here is doing okay, and I took suckers off, and it's not falling or failing as fast as the others. So I'm going to attempt to carry this longer. For sure I'm going to grow out the suckers that I pulled off it for this bed, and this bed will be nothing but this one plant. So we'll continue with that. Now let me show you another one. Now this bed here is the cross between Brent, the original mutant, which is essentially a back cross, to one of its child 2 breedings or 3 breedings or 3 generations back, called Rose Cherry Bear. And you can see a lot of Rose Cherry Bear over there still. And so I liked this first plant a lot from the get-go, and that was primarily because of the aggressiveness and the fruit set and all that. Since these other 3 have caught up some, but they're not displaying what I like either. So there's not much as far as fungus and the problems I was having with Brandy Bear over there. So I'm gonna, like this one here especially, I'm gonna continue to grow this and taste it, and keep it as a possible, but definitely this one right here is the one. It's grown way up, it's setting like crazy. It's just doing fantastic. Now I've got fruit in there that I picked that was changing color, but they're not fully ripe yet. But I'm going to do a side-by-side between this cross, which is Brent times Rose Cherry Bear, to Cherry Bear itself, and just see if there's any notable differences. The Rose Cherry Bear is doing quite fine. There's sparse necrosis on some of the leaves, but it's that the German parent I bred it to has really carried this one through, especially since this one is not covered. It gets exposed to more elements, more rain. Now I told you that this is pretty split resistant, these tomatoes, Rose Cherry Bear, but lately not so much. I've got some dang cucumber beetles. You'll see here, see they're splitting, and it's quite a bit, and that is a lot more to do with the constant rain. And we'll get a break, and then the sun will come out and it'll be in the 90s, and then it'll rain again the next day and absolutely saturate everything. And just, I don't know of a tomato that would not split, you know what I mean? So I'm going off of the previous observations that it is a good cherry tomato that doesn't split, and now I'm going to add the caveat much. So you can see the strings hanging down here. These are the tomato supports, and I've removed all but that one that we talked about over there. It's got some beautiful shaped tomatoes, so I'm putting a lot of faith in that one. We're gonna see how she does. I planted suckers to compare to a new highly disease resistant hybrid that I've never trialed against before. But this is a damn shame, isn't it? You got these big beautiful tomatoes here. These are the ones that are a little bit closer to eating size or near maturity, and I'm just going to leave them there to see if they'll start turning. This one looks like it's trying to turn some, but we have a counter full in the house right now, so maybe I'll show it to you. So these are the tomatoes. We've got a good bit of Brandy Bears here. Look at the size of that one. This particular one was the one I was talking about with the really big tomatoes, and they're consistently over 12 ounces. And it looks like a couple more back here. Got some Donovans in here in the mix as well. I also showed those. I think this was a cluster of Donovans, and of course I've got one Rose Cherry Bear here. We've been eating the dickens out of the Rose Cherry Bears with caprese salad. If you don't know what that is, that's soft mozzarella, the glaze. What's the glaze? Anyway, it's a balsamic glaze. There you go. Really good with a little bit of basil and tomato. Just fantastic. I eat it wherever I see it on the menu. So, and when we go out to eat. And Gina's been making it for me quite a bit. So I just wanted to kind of give you a snapshot. We're eating a lot of tomatoes. So panning around here just to kind of get a look. Everything is still doing fantastic. I've started the next line of breeding work. And so remember, I'm not about production. I'm about creating. And we do enjoy the fruits of the labor of creating. So I've got stuff going on all the time here. Like, for example, I'm doing another video, a comparison of Rock and Brandy Bear against a variety called Pink ID. But anyway, everything is doing really, really well. And now that I've got rid of the diseased tomatoes, the ones that are more diseased than others, I'm going to have to spray. And I really haven't sprayed hardly any at all this year. I've just been picking the squash bugs and just kind of letting the cucumber beetles do the little bit of damage that they do. But I think I'm going to go ahead and spray, try to get rid of some of the powdery mildew, try to get rid of a good bit of the cucumber beetles, and also the potential fungus or disease that's on the tomato plants. And I use a product called Daconil, and it works pretty good. I believe that is cyfluthrin, and so it does all those things I was telling you about. So that's what I'm gonna do. This is Brent, you guys. This is a quick update on just kind of some of the bad things, quote unquote bad things, that are happening in the raised garden bed area. So I'm sitting here at my desk here, and I'm just reviewing the video and editing. Well, I've got a lot of different video from different upcoming videos that I want to present, but The one thought I wanted to mention here, which I didn't cover in the video here, but what I want to leave a message, an ending thought to is, despite all of the rain and despite the disease and that sort of thing, if you realize that the selections I make, the ones I showed you that I'm going to carry forward, you can look at it as a blessing because I'm picking winners. And that's how I started to begin with. You know, when I started breeding for heat tolerance, I would pick winners, tomatoes that did better in the heat. And the same thing with all the vegetables. It's always been, you know, does it do well in the heat? And in the case of the tomatoes, it's kind of the same thing. Not so much heat, but things related to disease, because tomatoes are extremely susceptible to diseases. And so, although my primary purpose is parthenocarpy, being able to set fruit in the high heat and the high cold, disease resistance is also a factor after taste. So it's always going to be parthenocarpy, taste, and disease resistance, with the last two just really close to each other. Plant structure is also in the mix. If it's a wimpy plant, it's an automatic kill. Psh, cut it out. Anyway, I just want to kind of leave you with those thoughts. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and until the next one,